What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a sensational football news story where we will talk about the fact that Guardiola said that he would leave Manchester City if the club hierarchy lied to him, and that could come out very soon, that Manchester City have in fact lied to Guardiola, because the Premier League is close to charging Manchester City according to a Daily Mail article, because there is an ultra secretive 3-year legal investigation that is reaching its final stage, with 2 experts appointed in financial fair play battle that was sparked by the Der Spiegel's publication of leaked emails which proved that Manchester City have indeed cheated and cooked the books, and they have indeed inflated their sponsorship deals artificially. But the only reason why UEFA didn't kick Manchester City out of the Champions League is because they have this rule that if the offenses happened 5 years ago or more than 5 years ago, then the punishment couldn't be carried out. But the Premier League doesn't have a 5-year limit, a 5-year expiration date basically for these rule breaches, so Premier League could still charge Manchester City for the financial fair play breaches. So what do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. But first, listen to this video carefully, because Pep Guardiola said that, why did I defend the club, Manchester City and the people? It's because I work with them. When they are accused of something, I ask them, tell me about that, and then they explain and I believe them. And I said to them, if you lie to me the day after, I'm not here, I'm gone, I will leave Manchester City, I will be out, and I will not be your friend anymore. So that is very significant, because if this Premier League investigation concludes that Manchester City have indeed breached financial fair play rules, that basically Guardiola will have no choice but to leave Manchester City, because the owners didn't, of course they wouldn't admit to Guardiola what they are doing behind the scenes, that they are inflating sponsorship deals. And I mean, even without the Der Spiegel email allegations, it just takes common sense to know that Man City can't have the biggest revenue in world football. There is absolutely no way that a club, not even the 3rd biggest club in England, could have the biggest revenue in world football when it comes to sponsorship deals. That's just not possible, because there is Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. Probably Man United, Liverpool and Chelsea have a bigger revenue than Manchester City if you just look at the realistic revenue of those clubs. And of course Arsenal have fallen behind because they are not in the Champions League. Clubs like Bayern Munich, clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, there is absolutely no way that Real Madrid don't have a bigger revenue than Man City. There is no way that Barcelona don't have a bigger revenue than Manchester City. Both parties, so the Premier League and also this panel, and of course Manchester City, have gone to extraordinary lengths to keep this financial fair play investigation pretty much a secret. The Premier League rules aren't necessarily bound by a 5-year statute of limitations mentioned by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, and Man City have been obliged by a commercial court ruling to provide documents, and that's the only reason why Manchester City got away with this, on a technicality that basically the Court of Arbitration for Sport, who investigated the financial fair play rules breaches by Manchester City, they had a 5-year statute of limitations, and by the way, that's absolutely moronic and bullcrap in my opinion. In this complex legal case, Man City have challenged the Premier League's right to investigate them and their duty to release documents. I think that says it all. Man City to have the cheek to challenge the Premier League's right to investigate them. I mean, do you think Man City should be just running football and they should be just doing whatever they want without actually adhering to the rules and following the rules and regulations like every other club. Who on earth do they think they are? They just think that with money they can solve everything, because the owners, that has been their whole life. The owners of Man City, with money they are solving everything. And the legal challenges to the Premier League's rights ended up in civil courts, which are normally public, and that case ended up in the High Court in July 2021, because both Man City and the Premier League wanted all details to remain private, but for example the Daily Mail argued it should be public. And I think that's very shady that the Premier League and Man City wanted all the details of these court proceedings to remain private. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's right? It doesn't feel right to me, that's for sure. And one of the most senior judges in the United Kingdom said this is an investigation which commenced in December 2018. By the way, his name is Lord Justice Mayles, and it is surprising and a matter of legitimate public concern that so little progress have been made after 2.5 years, during which the club has twice been crowned as Premier League champions. And I think that's the problem, that the Premier League basically don't want to give points deductions or big fines and big punishments to Manchester City, who are, you know, one of the strongest teams in the league. It would hurt the commercial revenue and the brand of the Premier League. So the Premier League doesn't care about morals, it doesn't really care about rules. All it wants, the Premier League, all they want is just to bring in as much revenue, as much money as possible, to build up their brand as high as possible. That's why they allowed Newcastle United to be taken over by the Saudi Arabia government. And also that's why they want to keep this investigation fully private. They don't want any details being leaked because they want to be in control of the situation. If the press know about every little detail of this investigation, then the Premier League as a brand would suffer and their revenue would suffer. Imagine the whole competition would be a joke if it turns out that Man City are breaking the financial fair play rules of the Premier League for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Then they would have to strip Man City of all their titles, and the Premier League as a brand would suffer massively. And of course it would be justice, but the Premier League's revenues would take a hit, and they can't have that. They can't lose money on this. And the leaked emails had already shown that Man City's strategy is basically to hire as many lawyers as they can for as high fees and as big money as they are allowed. And they want these issues to be tied up in legal proceedings, and they want to drag it out as much as possible for years. So the Court of Arbitration for Sport or the Premier League, basically they just run out of money and they lose an interest, because Man City can afford to pay lawyers for years, millions, absolute millions of pounds, and they just can drag this out in legal proceedings for as long as they want. And one internal communication by Simon Cliff, this is very important. Man City's in-house lawyer said that the Man City chairman Khaldoon Al-Mubarak had warned the UEFA General Secretary Gianni Infantino. Basically, he said that the Man City chairman would rather spend £30 million on 50 of the best lawyers in the world to sue UEFA for the next 10 years. So they are not afraid to spend as much money as possible to sue UEFA or whoever challenged their club with legal proceedings into oblivion. They just want to sue everybody who challenges them into oblivion. And the Premier League has always said it will only comment once the case has been concluded, and they have declined to comment so far, as did Man City. That's why you hear very little about this in the media, but that's why I wanted to make this video, to shine a light on this issue. Man City always insisted that the leaked emails were taken out of context and they were purportedly hacked or stolen. The attempt to damage the club's reputation is organized and clear, but everybody knows that Man City are corrupt and rotten, and they are inflating their sponsorship deals. How on earth can Man City, who sometimes can't even fill their own stadium, have the biggest sponsorship deals in the world when they have so few fans abroad compared to Manchester United, to Man City, compared to Liverpool, compared to Barcelona, Real Madrid? Man City have a very small fan base from outside of the UK, and that it just can't be right that they have the biggest sponsorship deals in the world. And I think that's the biggest issue, that financial fair play is a joke. UEFA and FIFA are also corrupt organizations, so they are not really enforcing the financial fair play rules properly. Otherwise they would have already banned clubs like Paris Saint-Germain and Man City from their competitions, but that would hurt their own pockets as well, so they are just not doing that. And that's the punishment they get. And I honestly think that every neutral fan who is not a rival of Liverpool, so except Man United, Everton, probably Chelsea and Man City, every other fan should root for Liverpool, because Liverpool show that every club who is run normally, who is not run by oligarchs or oil sheikhs, that you can get to the top by shrewd investment, by appointing the right kind of people, by appointing the right kind of manager. Liverpool are giving hope to the football community that you can challenge these kind of clubs, the Man Cities, the Paris Saint-Germains, the Newcastles of this world. If Liverpool wouldn't show this, then there would be almost no hope for clubs like Arsenal, Tottenham, Leicester City, Wolves, Everton, all these kind of clubs who are trying to break into the top 6, or who are trying to break into the top 4, or who are trying to build a title challenging team. Liverpool are giving everybody hope that it can be done. So if you want Man City to win the title, if you don't support, a rival club to Liverpool, then I would love to hear from you. What is your reason for not wanting Liverpool to win the title, and why do you want the Premier League to become a monopoly? And that's the problem with this, that Man City should get punished for breaching the financial fair play rules, because it is not right. Apart from Liverpool, Man City would win every single title in the past few years, and nobody is challenging them apart from Liverpool, really. And my point is that if you just let Man City run away with this, then sooner or later they could turn the Premier League into a Bundesliga where they win 10 titles in a row. I'm serious about this. I don't think, unless Guardiola leaves, unless Man City get punished by financial fair play rules, it's almost impossible for anybody to keep up with Manchester City. Man City are close to signing Erling Haaland in the summer, and God knows whoever else they want to burn 100 million cash on in the summer. How can anybody really compete with that? Well, Liverpool showed how. And Guardiola said something interesting. I'm not sure how to interpret this, so help me with that if you can in the comments below. He said, I put my faith in Man City, in the club, because I believe 100% from day one, and I believe them, and I defend the club because of that. When you put something here, a sponsor, it's overpaid, but other clubs have money that comes from the USA, and the money is correct, even if it's higher. We have to deal with that, we have to fight with that. As always, I am a big fan to support this organization, no doubt. So is he talking about, other clubs getting big sponsors from the USA, like Man United, Liverpool? And he thinks that Man City's sponsors are 100% legit as well, even though most or a lot of Man City sponsors are companies closely tied to the United Arab Emirates government, which is the owner of Manchester City. So what do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. And this wraps up today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I just wanted to shine a light on this issue, because I'm not sure that many of you guys have heard about this. So leave your comments and thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Good night.